I'm Scott Raymond, and I'm the CTO of Gowalla.
So Scott, thanks for having us. How many employees do you guys have?
I believe we're up to 27 now.
How many registered users?
We've got over 500,000 registered users now. The basic idea of Gowalla is that it helps you explore the intersection of people and places around you. What that means is that when you're using your smartphone and you're out and about, say at a restaurant or a coffee shop or at a park, you would check in, which is kind of the same thing as stamping your virtual passport.
Get a latte and blueberry muffins. I launched the Gowalla app. Obviously my iPhone, everything knows where I am. Oh, here's Joe's Coffee. I can post it to Twitter. I don't know why. I can post it to Facebook and annoy some people that are close to me. And basically, I'm gonna enjoy my coffee and now everybody knows I'm having a coffee at Joe's. So I'm a 45-year-old man. What do I need to understand to use Gowalla?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, when we built this product, the timing was sort of just right for a product like this because people were starting to understand social media, right? Things like Twitter and the idea that you would say what you're eating for lunch and share that with friends or strangers, right? Until recently, that wasn't a very common idea, but now it's more common. And that has, I think, along with the rise of smartphones, has created kind of the perfect storm for a product like Gowalla.
So, Pia, I got my iPhone.
Okay.
I'm hearing all this stuff about location. So I go in the App Store. Why Gowalla?
It's fun, you know, you get to see what your friends are doing, you get to collect all your pins and items and all the places, and we actually hand develop all of our stamps. And so a lot of hours goes into creating these beautiful stamps that are a collection of the places that you've been.
So less about game, more about just personal discovery?
Definitely much less about game. I mean, the game mechanics really aren't a focus for us at all.
When I think of Gowalla, I almost think of it as a travel blog with benefits and perks. Where do you see Gowalla? I mean, if you could guess on the industry, we look forward 12 months. What do we think of when we think of Gowalla?
You know, this idea of checking in has resonated with a generation of users, right? But at the same time, it's also kind of one-dimensional, and I think it's going to evolve a lot over the next year. And so one of our goals is to figure out how do we bring, more magic? What can we tell you about the place that you're at? Either whether it's something social or some historically significant fact, or that there's a really great, dessert menu around the corner, or maybe you've won a prize.
So Scott, the company has raised $10 million?
Yep.
And so flash forward 2 years when we look at this location industry, gut feel. Is it travel? Is it coupons? And do you have a preference? If Gowalla was going to be successful, which would be the funnest way to make revenue?
I think it's going to be huge, but I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what the breakdown was going to be.
What wouldn't shock you?
Well, I think the travel angle is an obvious one, right? There's just a myriad of opportunities there, some of which might mean international or domestic flights or whatever, or hotel deals and stuff like that.
What strategy do you think is best for a young startup in this space? Because there's a lot of competition or a lot of noise, I would say.
There's a lot being made about, of course, Facebook getting into this space. And so there's not going to be a lot of room for someone to come in and just create a plain vanilla location-based service anymore, because Facebook has provided a foundation for that's kind of baseline. So where I think the real innovation is going to happen right now is solving one problem as it relates to location and then kind of opening the can from there.